Hello, my friends, and welcome to a space where pleasure is treasured, relaxation is not what you think it is, and life firing on all cylinders is what we're about. If you are somebody who wakes up every day asking for way more, consider this your happy place. Welcome to the Creation of Living podcast. I'm your host, Heather Nichols. Let's dive in. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Creation of Living podcast. We are going to chat today about bodies and creation. This is like one of my favorite topics, and definitely something we've had a lot of conversations around on this podcast, and something that is like super nonlinear. Not that I really go very linear ever on here, but you gotta go to the energies when you're playing with creating with your body in a very different way than needing to know how things are going to happen, how they need to happen, how they're going to work out. And you know, our bodies are this amazing universe. They have so much information, they have so much awareness, and they actually have a consciousness of their own that isn't the exact same as you, the being. And it's also not separate. You're not like you, the being, and your body have unique energies, you're unique entities, and you're very, very connected. And there's something very cool about recognizing the consciousness of your body as and the awareness that our bodies have, that allows us to actually start to really listen and trust and lean into our bodies as a source for the creation of what we would like to have. And our bodies give us information in so many ways. A lot of how our bodies communicate with us is through sensation. So sometimes they show us things, you know, and we all know what it's like to have pain. You know, you have pain, you're going to listen to your body. You're probably more likely to listen to your body if you have pain than, you know, if you're feeling really pleasurable. You're more likely to change something, I should say, if you have pain. So, you know, sometimes our bodies use pain as a way to communicate with us, or some sort of dysfunction. And sometimes it's more subtle than that, more, you know, not as traumatic and dramatic as that. But it's so cool to start to play with, like, if you would like to have something greater in your life, how is it that your body can contribute to that? So just get a sense right now of something that you're asking for in your life that you would like to have that's greater than what you have now, not because what you have now is wrong, but just you can, like, you have the capacity to, you know, have your life and your living be greater. And for the seekers of the world, it's fun to create. It's fun to create something different. It's fun to create something greater. It's fun to create more. If you're not including your body in that, there's a huge part of you as a creative creature that you're not inviting and allowing to be part of the equation and part of the exploration. So get a sense of something that you would like to have that you're asking for, and just take a moment even and just kind of get quiet with yourself, get present with your body, and ask your body. So how do you ask your body? You just go, hey, body. Okay, so you are brilliant, body. I'm sorry for all the ways that I've been mean to you, judgmental, all of that. Hey, body, what do you know about this? What do you know about creating this? And so often our bodies will show us things that are just so much easier than we think they are. And they will also give us feedback when we're getting really stressed out, or if things are, you know, not so much like going the way that they know they can. That's one of the brilliant things about bodies, is they actually like have this knowing of ease. And bodies enjoy, our bodies are like, you know, they're like puppies. You know, if you didn't have a mind, your body would be way more like a puppy, or like a young child who hasn't developed their mind yet, that loves pleasure, that loves deliciousness. Like they love to have their, puppies like to have their bellies rubbed, they sleep, they snuggle, um, our bodies have, they are, if you start to see your body more like an animal, in that way, you can start to tap into the brilliance of it beyond your mind, and like what's fun for you, body, what's pleasurable for you. And as you start to perceive more of those energies, receive more of those energies, be more of those energies, you can start to move with those energies in your whole life. And with the energetics of creation, I mean, this is a very robust conversation, and we could spend days and days and days talking about this. With the energetics of creation, one of the things that creates a really powerful creative universe is when you're willing to do what we call follow the energy and access consciousness. That's like what's true for you will make you feel lighter, what's a lie for you will make you feel heavier. And this is something that you kind of, as you play with those energies, and you play with a sense of like always following the expansive energy, like leaning into the expansive energy, going toward the expansive energy, it's going to, like, that's how you create more expansion in your life in general. If you lean into the heavy energies, the more solid energies, the more dramatic energies, you're really focusing on stuff that isn't true for you. And our bodies actually have a way of being like, that's the wrong direction, dude. They'll show us. Maybe you go somewhere that isn't really a contribution to you, and your body doesn't feel good. Now you could look at that and go, oh, maybe I'm sick. Maybe I hurt myself. Maybe I, ate something wrong or whatever. But when you start to go underneath all those assumptions and presumptions, you start to go to question and go, body, what's up? What do you know? What are you showing me here? And your body might be like, in its own way, it's not going to be in words necessarily, but it might just, you might start to perceive like, this place isn't for me, and I say that my body lights up. And it's not even about anything specific. It's from in this 10 seconds for me, it's just like, my body's like, yeah, I show you that all the time, And I've done that where I've like, when I travel, like I'll get to a hotel or an Airbnb, and I've learned a lot of skills. I'm going to do a podcast on this, on like travel hacks, soon, but where I'll get somewhere and then I'll be like, my body will just be like, this is a no, I'm not staying here, And it's so cool because if I listen and I don't go to like the objection of like, well, but I paid for it already, or I'm going to lose money, or they're going to charge me or whatever. And I'm like, okay, body, you want to do something different? And my body's like, yeah, for sure. Then I'll go and stay somewhere else. And this happens occasionally. This one time I'm remembering now is like, I had an Airbnb, I had booked it, I had paid for it. I kind of chose it because it was less expensive, and I was like, oh, I'll save some money. My body was like, no, not staying here. Absolutely not. And instead of trying to make it work, trying to force it, I was like, okay, so what would you like? And it kind of like, I was like checking in with my body, choosing a different hotel. I chose a hotel. I went to that hotel. Oh my gosh, did that open up an entire universe for me? It was like the hotel was so nurturing. The neighborhood where it was in Prague was an amazing neighborhood I had never discovered before. I discovered this incredible antique shop there. I bought some jewelry there. I turned some other people onto this antique shop. They've really enjoyed it. Like, so it was like this whole universe that got created when I just was like, okay, body, let's do what you want to do. And hey, body, contribute to the creation of the money to cover this, like contribute to that, the money showing up and this being no big deal financially. And it did. Like I was doing a class and there were people that came to the class and it was fine. It really, I didn't even feel it, financially. So our bodies have this very unique psychic awareness of possibilities and realities and things with your business and things with the creation of your body and things with your relationships. Our bodies know so much, and we have learned and we have trained ourselves to override our bodies all the time. What if you stopped doing that? What if you started listening? What if you really started listening? What is it that your body enjoys? What is it that your body desires and requires? With food, with travel, with people, with sex, with no sex, with business, with all of it. It's like keep choosing those energies and leaning into those energies and moving toward those energies. Your body will get happier. If you've ever had somebody consult you on something, maybe you were creating something with somebody and they consulted you and they wanted to know your awareness, your perspective. Now, we probably all know what it feels like to have somebody consult us and then for us to be like ignored. Like they consult you and then they don't listen, right? Or they don't even consult you and they definitely don't listen. And you have all this awareness of something that can make it easier, but they don't want to know. They're like, they've decided this is how it is, When we don't consult our bodies and we don't listen to our bodies and we don't come together to co-create with them, it's like that. We have this incredible organism of consciousness that's here, able to show us all kinds of things about physical reality, because physical reality is where your body lives. Like it lives in physical reality. So your body knows a lot about physical reality, including money, including, housing and travel and the earth and relationships and, parenting and, like all of it. Your body knows business, it knows so much about physical reality because physical reality is where it lives. It's what is true for your body. And of course, beyond that as well, which is a story for another time. But when you consult this kind of like the expert, on physical reality, it's like your body will start to thrive in a really different way. And your life will start to thrive. Like you will start to thrive and you will start to grow in a really different way. Things become so much easier when we include our bodies as a trusted advisor in what it is that we are creating. And listening to them doesn't always make sense. What we know our bodies are asking for, it doesn't always make sense. Sometimes it feels like a pain in the ass. Sometimes it feels like, oh, I can't afford that. I can't do that. I can't choose that. But when you tell yourself those stories, you take your body out of also being like, hey, I'd like to do something different here. You're going to enjoy it a lot more and it'll create more money for you, Like when I went to that hotel, it was like my world got so wealthy in all the ways, financially and so many other ways from changing that experience. Like the place where I was before was like in this alleyway, right in the middle of a noisy part of Prague. It was very dark. It was very weird. And my body was just like, I'm not going to deal with this. I'm sorry. I'm a queen. And so I was like, well, let's go do the queen thing then. And it made a huge, huge, huge difference in everything for me. And that is, if we look specifically at the creation of money, when we create with our bodies and we choose into that realm of pleasure and aliveness and vitality and enjoyment and all of that stuff, those are energies that dynamically increase our money flows. It's one of those things where you just don't know ahead of time how it's going to show up. You can't compute where the money's going to come from or whatever, but it does. It does. And as that occurs, like we just keep going and moving and changing and moving and changing. And, so much can show up with the inclusion of our body, it brings an element of wealth, it brings an element of possibility, it brings an element of pleasure and relaxation and abundance that we just don't have when we don't consult this amazing trusted advisor called your body. So, what if your body was there to allow you to enjoy your life even more? What if the more you contribute to your body, the pleasure of your body, your whole life can expand as a result of that, and your body really does know what it's up to. Like it is a gift of magnitude that you can use and you can have and you can create with, and will expand your whole life and living in your business. Now, one of the things that I want to mention, there's so many different conversations that we can have in the Access Consciousness classes that expand this and kind of give you some more direct tools to work with, asking questions and things like that, tapping into different energies. There's a lot of ways and places to explore how to strengthen the muscle of communion with your body and a sense of listening. Because when people start to listen to their bodies, a lot of times they're like, I don't even know how to know what is coming from my body and what isn't. So part of it is experimenting and just going, well, let me see what this creates. It's going to give you more awareness. Don't think about getting it right. Don't think about being perfect with it. Just try something, see what happens, because you'll always get more awareness. And the Access Consciousness body processes are a phenomenal way to create way, way, way more communion with our bodies that is beyond anything cognitive, where we just start really working together with our bodies in a very different way. And there's a receiving with your body that shows up that's really incredible. And the 3-day body classes in Access Consciousness are a 3-day time and space where you can dive in to the body processes, which are hands-on energies that we run on each other. You have a partner and you pair up and you run the processes all weekend, all 3 days. You could sleep through the whole class and wake up at the end of the 3 days with way more communion with your body. You might even be like, sleeping might even be a great idea. Deeply relaxing, deeply peace inducing, and also just so much beauty and strength and like so much communion, and the capacity to hear what our bodies are saying, to listen to them from a space of silence, which allows you to really hear so much more accurately and more astutely. That just shows up when you play with the Access Consciousness body processes, and especially in the 3-day body classes and the advanced body classes. There's a communion that occurs. I can't say how because it's magic. From those classes that just pervades everything that you do. And it's like you and your body kind of go along your merry way more intimate with each other than where you started. So I just wanted to mention that because it's one of those tools that this really is a conversation about miraculousness and magic with our bodies and with creation. And the body processes and access are a huge part of what can exponentialize that and allow us to have that in a way that's beyond mind, beyond cognition, beyond linearity, and beyond words. So if you've never done one, check it out. You do need to do a foundation class, Access Consciousness Foundation, before you do a body class, 3-day body class. You can also just take an individual body process class that doesn't have any prerequisites. People do those all over the world. You can find all of that on accessconsciousness.com. And I'm going to be doing a bunch of body stuff. I'm so excited. I'll be in the Middle East, in Kuwait for a body class, 3-day body class, and in Boulder, Colorado, my home, and in Slovenia. Those are my and in New York City as well, in October and November. That's my lineup for the rest of the year. and all kinds of other amazing body tools. I have a body show me class happening online starting in December. That's about the topic of that one is how do I trust you? Body show me, how do I trust you? Which is a huge piece as well. So lots to be explored, lots to be received and enjoyed, really. What if we really could enjoy our lives and our bodies dynamically, and that could contribute to everything that we're creating with total ease? That's my ask for anybody who's willing to have it, who would like to have that. Let's have it. Let's do it. Let's go. Thank you for being here, and enjoy you and your body and all that you're creating. I'll see you next time. Thank you for joining me for the Creation of Living podcast. If this conversation was inspiring to you, share the love. To work privately with me or for info on my upcoming classes and retreats, go to heathernichols.com. Have a beautiful day, and remember that the world thrives when you do.